Before I start this video, I just want to apologise for my awful lighting as I normally use the natural light outside. Because I'm a poor person, I want to talk Doctor Who cliffhangers. Now for the entirety of Doctor Who, especially the classic series and the Big Finish audios, we have had cliffhangers at the end of each 25-minute episode. It ends with this big ending on how will the Doctor survive, how will a companion survive, or we hear this massive discovery that will affect the plot in so many ways. And today I want to talk about one of the most memorable, impactful cliffhangers. An Unearthly Child. Now, the ending I want to talk about today is part 1, when the TARDIS first takes off, when Susan, Barbara and Ian actually are in the TARDIS properly. Obviously, the Doctor forces them, kidnaps them, because he doesn't want them telling the authorities about them, and they land in a random place. Now, back then, they didn't know who it was. They see this big shadowed figure walking towards TARDIS. Obviously, we know it's a caveman today, because we've all seen this episode, hopefully. But back then, they had no idea about the show, the fact that it time travelled, where have they gone, are they in danger? The Daleks. Now, the ending I want to talk about is part 1, where Barbara is walking down the corridors looking for something until she notices a Dalek coming right towards her. And she screams and then the titles go on. Now, think about it this way, we've seen this episode, hopefully all of us have, because it's an impactful Dalek episode, and I recommend this episode to anyone. But back then, no one had no idea who a Dalek was. The fact that she screamed for maybe she's going to die, because maybe the thing is she could have, that is the thing. So, the ending's absolutely amazing and it really sets up the Daleks in the best way possible. And the fact we don't even see them to part 2 makes it even better. The Dalek invasion of Earth. Now the ending I want to speak about is part 1 again. Another Dalek story, another part 1. My god, part 1's are famous on this channel. The ending I want to speak about is the end of part 1 where the Dalek comes out of the river and we realise the Daleks have taken over London completely. Why is this impactful? I think it is for the fact that they didn't know the Daleks were going to return back in the day. Maybe we know now because the fact that we can watch all of these over and over and over again, and back then they didn't have the internet. Maybe they had the newspaper to read about it, because I found an article about it, but not everyone had that advantage. So people were so surprised to see these Daleks return. That really was a massive thing, to be honest. The 10th planet. Now, you know what I'm going to talk about here. The 10th planet, part 4, when the first Doctor regenerates for the very first time into Patrick Troughton's second Doctor. Back then, that was one of the most biggest endings of all time in Doctor Who history. And thank goodness that regeneration has survived for part 4, since it's a missing episode. Because if it didn't, that would suck so much. The moon base. So, why am I picking the moon base? I think the ending I have to talk about is when we realise something is in this moon base. And we realise the Cybermen are in this area is when the Doctor starts saying, have you checked every corner, everywhere? Have you checked in the storerooms? And we realise they haven't. And that's when the Cyberman climbs out and just stands there, that blank expression, and the titles go up. Now I think that's probably incredibly creepy, for the fact that no one really knew the Cybermen were going to return.